Gotta love that sound. Gotta love that sound of a fresh cracked beer. But we're back. This is episode 5 of the Taproom. I am your host, Mike, if this is your first time listening. It's a rainy Sunday in Southern California. Kind of feel like, fuck, it's just never ending out here. Southern California, it's always usually sunny, but lately it's been raining all the time. Here in the tap room, aka the garage, got a couple of beers to crack for this week, and they're left over. I mean, I can't say enough about last week's episode 4 with Nadav and Long Beach Beer Lab, how much they were super, hospitable and, gave me all those beers. So I have a couple beers, to do on that because and then I'm going to jump into the interview. And I think from now on, I'm going to start putting a timestamp in the notes of when you can jump to the interview. Because this week I had Emily, her Instagram. So this is another Instagram spotlight. It was Instagram spotlight number 2. I had Lydia before. I believe that was on episode 3. But this one was with Emily, but at Buffalo Beerfluencer. Super nice ladies. She's super cool. We talked about, her kind of like how she got into craft beer. We talk about the Buffalo Bills, obviously being from Buffalo. Get into some buffalo wing, stuff, all that good stuff. So it's kind of like I said, I've always wanted the Instagram spotlight to be about where you are and where, if you guys the Tap fam, were to go to a certain location, I want to be able to get all the big cities and even the small cities too. Like it's not just about the big cities, but without any further ado, I'm gonna just crack in. Like we started off right. Crack a brewski, give it a review ski. I'm going to start with this little sucker here. It's called LB Chill. Universal Premium Standard. It's coming in at 4% from Long Beach Beer Lab. So, it's probably should be an easy drink. I'm assuming it's kind of going to be kind of like a lager. But let's crack her open, eh? Let's see how she sounds, eh? Oh, yeah. It's always a big spike every time I crack it in the mic. Let's give it a pour. Oh yeah, super clear. Honestly, yeah, like if I were to just pour it, and this isn't a knock on them or anything like that, because I love Long Beach Beer Lab. But yeah, it almost reminds me of if I was pouring a Bud or something like that. And I feel like when you're going to breweries and stuff like that, it's good if they have something for everybody. Because some people don't like IPAs and don't like hazies and stuff like that, or New England style IPAs. But if you can have a beer like this, and they have another one called the Dad Beer, which is like a really hoppy, it's hoppy, but it's still full. It's really floral on the note. But this one, let's give it a sniff. Yeah, I mean, it smells like a lager. So let's give it a tasty here. At 4%, it's nothing crazy. And we had some good ones when the Instagram spotlight, both from Long Beach Beer Lab. And you'll be able to hear it later, so I don't want to give away too much. I'm going to go in here, give it a drinkski. You know what? For being these are crushable. These are really crushable. I feel like coming in at 4%, you take but you're still getting a little bit of hoppiness to it, not like you wouldn't you wouldn't get from say a Bud or a Miller or Coors or anything like that. So you're still getting some hoppy notes to it, but it's super crisp, super clean and refreshing. Definitely. If, honestly, just go down to Long Beach Beer Lab, have a good time, get some of their sourdough pizza, fire. And their pastries, too. I had their lemon bar last week, too. Bomb. Big fat 10 on the pizza, big fat 10 on the, big fat 10 on the lemon bar and the pizza. This beer, I'm going to give this, for being a lager or pilsner, I'm gonna give this a 9. This is solid. It's actually really, really good. I feel like, it's a 16-ounce can, but I feel like I can crush a ton of these. And you know what? I might have had a few mimosas today at brunch. Shit happens. This is really good. I'm gonna crush this real quick here. Oh yeah, that's delicious. You can't go wrong with something like that. But let's. Oh, excuse me. Let's do it like I would do every week. Jump into the headlines. NFL free agency is going on. It's getting kind of crazy. Is Tom Brady coming out of retirement? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get into that. He's kind of announced that he's not doing that. But, there were some big things. Fucking finally, we found out that Aaron does want to play for the Jets. So, all right. I'm totally okay with that. And it's not the Vikings or the Bears. The Lions, I don't really, being a Packer fan, I feel like sometimes, there's certain teams that everybody hates. But, especially being a Packer fan. But being a Packer fan, hate the Bears, hate the Vikings. And then it's the Cowboys, Niners. So I was glad that Jimmy G left. He went to the Raiders, and Aaron announced that he wanted to play for, the Jets, which is good. I mean, it's all right. More power to him. If he wants to leave, let him leave. He doesn't have to stay. Obviously, he doesn't, nobody's tied to anything anymore. And honestly, in sports now, is there really, you rarely see commitment from a player staying with one team his entire career. I mean, I know I'm probably going to sound like a homer, but when it comes to the Braves, like Chipper Jones. He stuck with the Braves. He stuck with the Braves his entire career, took less money, and just not everybody's like that. Not everybody's going to, be willing to take the hometown discount and stay in a place. But we're just waiting on the details, I guess. I guess according to reports, they're not really close to a trade, but we'll see what happens. I hope they get at least one first round pick. I mean, I feel like you have to get at least this year's first round pick, maybe a second round pick. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, who knows how it's all going to play out. Even Edwin Diaz, another headline, Edwin Diaz out for the year for the Mets. Fucking hate the Mets, but you never want to see a player go down like that. And he was celebrating too, in the WBC. I mean, that's just, that's terrible. You don't want anything like that. You want, especially if you're going to beat a team, you want to beat them at full strength. Oh, at least that's how I feel. I know some people just fucking don't care about injuries and all that sort of stuff, but you really hope that, they would just be, at their best. And I feel like this year, with the NL East, it being so strong with Philly's freaking lineup is just ridiculous. The Braves should be really good. They got great starting pitching. Obviously, they just got Sean Murphy. And then you also have the Mets. So you have those three teams that are just going to be killer. So it's going to be a tough division to play in. I do have, not something I want to announce just yet about, because I do want to do a preview episode of baseball. But I might have a specific, a pretty big Instagram baseball. The guy that runs that specific Instagram baseball preview episode, working on it. Also have some other stuff in the works. More info to come. But I'm going to finish this beer before I jump into my next one. This is going to be a quick intro. Got to talk a little bit of March Madness after this next brewski, but I'm gonna crush this beer real quick. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. All right, so let's jump into this next brewski. Another Long Beach Beer Lab, and believe I had this one on the show last week, but I didn't give it a review while I was at the brewery. This is the LB Blonde, so the Long Beach Blonde from Long Beach Beer Lab. Blonde Ale, coming in at 5.4%. Oh, and also, before I do crack this beer open, we had last night the Pit of Despair. So if you guys follow on Instagram, it's, at the Taproom Podcast. Twitter is it's at the Taproom Pod. But the Pit of Despair, the Wild Ale, with, sorry if you heard dog barking. The Pit of Despair with Wild Ale with pears It was fucking phenomenal. Me and Jizzy cracked it open yesterday. Might have broke a, we might have broke a wine bottle opener, but we figured it out. We got that sucker open though. It was delicious. I'm gonna give just a review on that one, from last night. Big fat 10, big fat 10. So definitely, like I said, if you can get down there and they still have some, grab one. That and the As You Wish, I'm saving for Mania, the Mania episode. Also got some Mania content coming for if there's any wrestling fans out there. But it's going to be good. I'm going to crack this sucker open and we'll jump into the next brewski. Oh, yeah. Ooh, off the nose, it smells great. Let's give it a pour. Oh, yeah. Little 16 ounces, eh? Take off, hoser. All right, yeah, I'm just talking to myself now. All right, well, let's jump in here. The blonde ale, it smells so good. I think I crushed about 3 or 4 of these yesterday. I think and last week too, I only had there were tasters. It was like a flight. Freaking delicious though. Oh yeah, it smells so good. All right, I'm going to jump in here. The blonde ale, and it's super clear, super see through. You do get some hoppy notes to it, but it's super good. It's only coming in at 5.4%. It is like, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record when it comes to Long Beach Beer Lab, but it is super, like, it's crisp, it's clean, it's refreshing. It's floral, like you're getting that, like those floral notes from the hops. It's really good. I'm gonna give this one, for being a blonde. And Navi, we were talking about this one yesterday. I poured one for him. I think Navi liked it too. Navi gave it a big fat 10. I am also gonna give it a big fat 10. For being a blonde, it's, yeah, like I said, it's super drinkable. Like, it's not like, say if you bought a 4-pack of this and you had it in your fridge and you had one, you're going to go back for those other 3. You're not going to have to, like, want to push those to the back because you had to buy a new beer because you didn't like that one. This one is delicious. You'll like this one. So yeah, pick up a 4-pack. Also yesterday, we were hanging out here. I made some Terry burgers, grilled Spam, and some grilled pineapple. But yeah, we tried the Pit of Despair. Also, I had Jizzy try the Brute Squad. It was at 9% double IPA, like double IPA Brute. Fucking delicious. Like, that one is like a killer. Even Jizzy gave that one a big fat 10. He gave the Pit of Despair a big fat 10. I might just start wearing the lapel mic just to wear it, just so I can get random reviews going anywhere. And this episode, there won't be any BBRs. There's no bonus beer review on this one. But I want to jump into March Madness because it's getting crazy. This is like I've always said, my favorite, and I think I said it last week, my favorite playoffs are always, it's baseball, Major League Baseball, NHL, March Madness. So let's go through. Let's see what's going on. We're going into the Sweet 16. Some big upsets. Furman beat Virginia. Arizona lost to Princeton. And then fucking Princeton beats Mizzou and beats them handedly. Beat them by 15 yesterday. UCLA, my pick to win it all is still there. Tennessee beat Duke today. Fucking Fair Dixon playing FAU. I think they play tomorrow. Fair Dixon beats number 1 seed Purdue. But I mean, you always kind of see there's always those, couple upsets. But I feel like this year it's just kind of popping off. But the Bruins look really good. Yeah, I mean, little bit of a test yesterday with Northwestern. But I mean, I feel like they're, UCLA's built for the tournament. So I mean, I feel like they're going to do really well. Right now, even Michigan State's playing Marquette. They're up by 11. That game is just about over. So I'm still, my pick's still alive. Of course, SC lost. Like I said, they would. I would say they're a one and done team. They get in the tournament, they get bounced in the first round. But what I'm really feeling, I'm feeling a Bama UCLA championship. That's my pick, and I'm sticking to it. I really feel like Bama's an all around fucking. They got a squad. They got a squad that can go out there and fucking win some games. And even UCLA, like UCLA didn't look great yesterday, but they still find a way to win. And as long as you find a way to win, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. You can win by one. People don't remember how much you won by. People remember that you won the title. So yeah, I feel like UCLA's really got a shot. They're going to play the winner of TCU Gonzaga, and I think they play tomorrow. Um, so like I said, I love this time of year. It's a gambler's type of year. We want to be able to lay down some money. And sometimes it's just fucking fun. I think even the Dancing Bear Jam, who's been on, he hasn't been on the Tap Room yet, but he was on the old Taps and Tailgates episodes. But yeah, I just really feel like UCLA's got a shot. But I'm gonna end it. Well, I can't even talk today. I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna jump into the interview here with Emily. I hope you guys enjoy it. She was a super fun guest. And I want to keep doing this Instagram spotlight stuff. And, as long as, and if you're into it and you're listening, if you're listening to the show and you want to be on the show, like if you want to be featured on Instagram, on an Instagram spotlight episode, so just send me a message. Send me a message. We'll talk about it. We'll figure out, we'll see how it all works out. I mean, there's so many people out there that, love to hear their story. Like whether you don't have to be a brewer or owner of a brewery to do this stuff. Just be able to you can be a home brewer. Like let's talk about stuff. Or if you're just a big sports fan, let's talk a little sports. Let's have a few beers. Let's have a good time. But without any further ado, actually, 1 second before I do that, I do want to talk about. I got a lot of stuff coming up for you guys. I have next week. I am recording with Stereo Brewing in Placentia, and I'm recording Noble in Anaheim. And then the week after is Mania, so I might have a special guest on that episode. But the week after that, I got Kauea. I also have Amarok Brewing coming up, King's Brewing coming up in May, Pink Boots, talking to them right now, trying to figure out if we can, work out a day we can do that. So a lot of cool episodes coming up, so stay tuned, but I will keep you going. I'll keep you informed. And I'm not going to edit any of this shit out. So hope you guys enjoy it. Instagram. All right, guys, welcome back to the Tap Room. This is another episode or another Instagram spotlight. And today my guest is Emily, Buffalo Beer Influencer. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
That's great. I'm glad to hear it. And when we talked before, I think you said you had a birthday coming up, right?
I do. My birthday is tomorrow, actually. So it's my birthday eve. My mom was in labor 33 years ago today.
There you go. Nice. You have any fun plans for your birthday?
I took the day off of work tomorrow. I'm doing a full self-care day, getting my hair colored, getting a facial, and then obviously having some beers tomorrow night. So I'm looking forward to it.
There you go. That sounds like a fun time. Where are you going to get those beers from?
There's a place called Coulter Bay in Buffalo. It's like a little pub kind of. It's not quite a sports bar, but they have a really good beer selection there. Local, but also like just all around the country. So yeah, my parents are gonna come up and my boyfriend will come meet me there. So yeah, should be good.
Awesome. That sounds like a good time. And being from Buffalo, you had a couple beers lined up that you were going to be trying today on the show?
Yes. So in honor of my birthday, actually, so I'm currently 32, which was, I'm going to show for the people recording here. You might recall O.J. Simpson played for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And he was number 32. So this beer that I'm drinking is called White Bronco. It's by Brickyard Brewing Company in Lewiston, which is
nice.
About 30 minutes from Buffalo. So this is a New England IPA, White Bronco, for the culmination of my OJ year.
Nice. And what style is it?
It's a New England IPA, which is probably my favorite.
Nice. So it's like
What about you? What do you have?
I have, so this is from Long Beach Beer Lab since I was with them this past weekend. It's a triple oat cream hazy. It's coming in at
Mm.
11%. So it's blended with oats and vanilla.
The oat cream they're so good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Cheers. Let's see what we got here.
Cheers.
It's 11%. We'll see how
Yeah,
it goes.
wow.
What's yours at?
What is mine? Let's see on here. I can't find it. 6.8.
Oh, nice.
Okay. About half of it.
Yeah. Well, cheers. And happy
Cheers.
birthday.
Thank you. What a good birthday present to
I know.
have some beers and chat with you.
Oh, for sure.
So good.
Oh, that is really good. And you get a lot of, there's a little foam mustache on me there.
Little residuals.
Yep. But yeah, I'm totally getting vanilla, like everything that's, that they're talking about on the can here. And the heavy oats with that cream, that's delicious. How's yours taste?
That sounds so good. This one's really good. You can see like how dark that color is. It's a little bit pinier than a usual New England, which I wasn't expecting. But yeah, no, all the beers from Brickyard are so good. They have a new one out for St. Patty's. It's called Irish Exit.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Such a good name. The names of the beers, like I work in marketing full time, so I'm definitely a sucker for a creative name and packaging.
Oh, nice. That's cool. And like, yeah, one thing I do like love when it comes to like all the different, names, like there's I keep talking about Long Beach Beer Lab, but since I was there last week, they have a bunch of like, I don't know if you like The Princess Bride, but I love the movie. So they have like so many different, Princess Bride inspired beers or names. Like they have like As You Wish, which is like a
I
wild
love
berry.
that.
Yeah, so good.
Have you been listening to, or not listening, watching that The Last of Us on HBO?
Oh yeah,
Did
one of my
you see
favorites.
there was a brewery that made a beer inspired by that zombie? It's called Click Click Boom.
Oh
And
no, I
it
didn't see
has
that.
like that creepy like monster zombie on the
Mm-hmm.
I'll look it up and send it to you. Yeah, no, I think it was I want to say I know the can's like purple. I want to say it was like a fruited sour, but yeah, for the clickers, that
Yeah.
show slays me. I have not watched the last episode yet,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, but I love when breweries get into like pop culture
Oh yeah.
and stuff. Like it's so fun because it obviously like it keeps people coming back and keeps people so engaged and like wanting to support them and try new flavors, even if it was a flavor that you wouldn't usually go for when it's a name and a theme like that. It's super
Ye-
cool.
Yeah, when it's something that's kind of that you're into or brings you in, because there's also another brewery out here. What's not out here in LA, but it's in Marietta, which is about an hour 15 away, so it's not super far, but still a little bit of a drive for a brewery.
Yeah.
But it's all video game based. It's called 8-Bit.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, and it's all like old Nintendos, but they have it like Nintendo based or like titles and like can artwork. They even have like a one called like Jurassic Tart.
Oh,
It's
that's
so good.
so fun.
Yeah, are you into the sours as well?
You know, I dabble in the sours. I love sour things. Like I love a sour dill beer, like a pickle
Mm-hmm.
beer is my absolute favorite. But the fruited sours I'm not into as much. I'm not sure why. But I don't know, I'm not like necessarily a sour like gummy worms candy sort of person. So I need to branch into them more. But I really love the like a smoothie sour beer.
Okay.
Those ones, I feel like they have a little bit less of like that kind of acidic. Sometimes I guess it's the acid that's a little bit too much
Mm-hmm.
for me. But you're a sour guy, right?
Yeah, I love sours. So actually, I really like all of them because I mean they call them hazies, but they're like New England style IPAs. Because
Oh,
I
okay.
guess they call hazies out here, but I guess they're pretty much just that New England style. Love all
Right.
those. Love stouts. Even like pilsners. Like the one I'm gonna do next is another. It's like it's a called a crispy pair of jeans. It's a pilsner,
Oh, that's
but
funny.
yeah, I haven't tried that one yet, so I'm excited to try that one later. But yeah, I do love the tart. But I also there are times when you have a sour and it's just overly tart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one before, and I want to say it was from Sweetwater, out of Atlanta, and
Mm-hmm.
that was like no shade on Sweetwater.
Mm-hmm.
I love their beers, but this one was like apple cider vinegar. It was
Oh wow.
shocking. It was shockingly acidic. It made you wonder, like, oh, I wonder like who like really goes after this one. But I do
Yeah.
love that about like I think that's so fun with breweries too. Like they have their core beers that they distribute nationally or regionally, but that's the
Mm-hmm.
fun part about going into a tap room, right? Is like the innovation beers, the small batch ones that they put out just for the people that come to the tap room.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's always such a fun part about going into the actual place.
Mm-hmm. I know I forgot we kind of I kind of went off on a little tangent there, but wanted to ask like what would you rate that one you have from Brickyard?
Ooh. Ah, gosh, ratings are always so hard for
Oh
me.
yeah,
My
it's
my
tough.
friends ask me to rate stuff too, and it's like, well, am I rating it against other New Englands or other out of 10?
Yeah. Or you can go 12. You can go above it if you want.
I think that my book club rates out of 5, so I just wanted to
Okay.
make sure if I rate it
Oh
like
yeah.
3, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I think out of 10, I would give this a 7.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I love the name.
Mm-hmm.
I like New England. It's like to me, it's coming across more piney than I would expect for New England. That's kind of where I'm going to take off a couple points there, but
Mm-hmm.
super, super good. Would pair well with good burger.
There you go.
Fortunately, I don't have a burger right now, so.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you giving your oat cream?
I've for being a triple, it's not like overly boozy, but you
Yeah.
still like you're getting all those flavors. You're getting that oat flavor. You're getting it's super like you can't see through it at all, so it's super hazy. Um, and I love the vanilla. And like I said, not being 11%. Sometimes they can be like, whoa, like kind of
Right.
smack you in the face boozy, but it's not. I feel like it's kind of scary because if you feel like you could
Oh,
have
those ones are the
yeah,
scary ones.
yeah, and you feel like you can have a few of them, and then before you know it, you're on the floor.
Right, right. It's a
But
bottle of wine.
yeah, but it's really, I'm gonna give it a 9 for sure. I was almost,
Wow.
yeah, it's really good.
I don't know if you guys have other half brewing out on the West
Hmm.
Coast. You
I
do?
don't think so. Where are they based out of?
So I believe they started in like the New York City area.
Okay.
And other half, so they have other half locations, I think in New York City, maybe one around the DC area. There's one in the Finger Lakes, and then one opened in Buffalo last summer. And their IPAs are extraordinary.
Yeah.
They do some like oat cream IPAs
Hmm.
that are similar. I don't know that I've had one that is 11, but they're strong. Like I've had some that I keep in my fridge for a while because I'm like, am I ready to like really get into this? But
Yeah.
but it's shockingly smooth. And I don't know if that's maybe just like how the oat IPAs are, but
Hmm.
yeah, Other Half Brewing has an amazing one that I had at a beer fest a couple weeks ago. Just so good. Yeah, it like blends in that like strong alcohol bite.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to see if I can find some of that, or maybe if there's so anywhere near you, we'll do like a trade. I'll send you some 8-bit, and you can send me some other half.
I am down for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, they have some good stuff. They make really good hazies and stuff like that. So I'd be looking forward to that. So knowing like since you're from Buffalo, I did want to talk about that article that I saw that was about you that they did. It was a Buffalo. Is it Buffalo Local that they did?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us about that.
The Super Bowl picks.
Yeah, it was like how they talked about like your like you like and your I guess journey through craft like how you got into craft beer and stuff like that and like going from
Yeah,
Buffalo.
yeah. So the Buffalo Local article, I think, was about kind of Super Bowl picks for like what we're
Hmm.
drinking for the game. But yeah, regarding my kind of journey into craft beer, like I've definitely been drinking beer for a while, and I think when I really try to pinpoint like so I lived in New York City for a while after college, and at that point especially like the brewery scene just wasn't a thing in the
Mm-hmm.
city, and even in New Jersey, like in Brooklyn, brewing was a thing, and like I definitely took a day trip there with my friends once, but for me at least, like it was you kind of go there and that was it. Um Maybe like Magic Hat was a craft
Mm.
beer at the time, like
Yeah.
that was kind of like maybe as far as I dabbled
Mm-hmm.
into the craft, I guess you would call it, even though I don't even know if they were.
Yeah.
But I think really when I got into craft beer a lot was when I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina, and honestly during the pandemic. Um, I don't know, that the country was so weird at that time because everyone had different like
Mm-hmm.
phases of
Yeah.
reopening. And in North Carolina, breweries were allowed to be open, but not bars. I
Mm.
think it was because of the outdoor seating. And I had a roommate at the time, my best friend and I, both really wanted to be safe to keep each other safe. And so we would kind of do just mostly outdoor stuff. And there was a brewery in our neighborhood. It was called Birdsong Brewery. They're amazing. I love them and I miss them.
Mm.
But they would do a small batch release like once a week, once every other week or so. And so that was a thing that we would do mostly because, I mean, we loved beer, but there also wasn't really that much else you could do in
Yeah.
2020 and in those times. So it just became such a habit, and it was one of the things that like really brought me a lot of joy was walking to this brewery and trying their small batch release. And I also really loved being one of the first ones of my friends to try something new, I realized my friends would kind of start coming to me and asking how it was, or I would post about it on my Instagram story, and I really loved being able to like give people feedback and tell them, this one's worth it, like come tomorrow, or yeah, maybe sit this one out. So it wasn't until actually last summer, so maybe, I don't know, 9 months ago or so, that I officially created a Instagram account dedicated officially to beer. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that really was kind of one of the good things that the pandemic brought, was I do think like it gave breweries a little bit more to play with, I guess,
Yeah.
because at least in North Carolina, and again, I don't know how the other states were, but down south, the climate was a little bit warmer. We could do more outside. And it was like just a total like culture thing down there. And we could, you could kind of safely meet up with your friends
Mm-hmm.
and gather around a beer, which who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's nice to hear that. I mean, some states were actually willing to open stuff up like that, even with the outside seating or anything like that.
Hmm.
Because out here in California, like a lot of breweries went belly up because they kept it closed. They kept everything closed for so long, where they would open up. They'd let a Walmart where you can have 5,000 people in there at one time,
Yeah.
but then you couldn't have a brewery that could have like 40 people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was just kind
Well,
of like
and
this
like
whole
I don't know
thing.
if your breweries did this too, but like I remember one of the first ways that you could support business at that time was that
Hmm.
breweries would sell like growlers and crowlers because they had all
Hmm.
this product that was going to go
Yeah.
bad. So that was another thing that we did too, was like go around and make the rotations, like pick up, they had those little tents outside and you could pick up your 4 packs or
Yeah.
whatever. And um yeah, honestly, I that spring or that like season, I gave up wine for Lent because I was such a red wine drinker at that time
Yeah.
that I was like, I gotta give up wine. I'm drinking too much. And then the pandemic hit and I got into beer and I'm like, I don't even want my wine anymore. Like
Yeah.
there's a new man in town.
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
Right,
And so you
right.
said you were in Charlotte. I don't know how far that is. My sister, way back when, used to live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, because my
Okay,
brother-in-law was based out there. But I remember
nice.
there being like some smaller breweries out there, but this was, geez, I want to say back in like 2012, 13. So I'm not sure how long, like you said, you lived there in the pandemic. How long did you live in North Carolina?
I was only there for 2 years,
Okay.
actually. Yeah, I jokingly kind of call it my pandemic vacation, which
Hmm.
I know is insensitive because many people had a terrible time, myself
Yeah.
included, during the pandemic. But it was really good timing for me because I moved out of New York City really just a month or two before the pandemic hit. And so I was able to be down in that warmer climate, be able to do more. And then once the pandemic kind of started winding down, my lease was up and, I kind of had the honest conversation with myself, like, am I going to live down here? I'm from Western New York. I grew up an hour and a half outside of Buffalo, so a lot of my family's here. A lot of my friends are back here. So, it was at that time that I was like, you know what? I think remote working has started being a thing. Like I
Yeah.
moved back to Buffalo then. Loved Charlotte. It was amazing. I still love the city. But yeah, that was when I moved back to Buffalo, and it's been very good up here. I'm happy to be home.
That's good. And you guys, I know, because obviously I was in California, it doesn't get that cold. Like if it gets like in the 40s or 50s here, we're
Oh yeah,
freezing. But I know
right,
how
right.
cold it gets over there by you guys. And I know there's been like a major cold front coming from the East Coast. Does that hit you guys too?
Yeah, it was really cold today. It was in the 20s, and that, it's March 14th. Like we're kind of sick of it, but my best friend and I were just joking, like, usually like college graduations around mid-May, Mother's Day, and like it snow flurried on my graduation back in the
Hmm.
day. So I know I still have another couple months of this, which is really depressing. But yeah, the nor'easter is coming in. I think Buffalo is going to get spared for once, but yeah,
Well, that's good.
Syracuse, Albany, and I think like around the New England area is going to get hit by that. So yeah, LA has been like cold, right? Was there snow?
Yeah, there was like certain parts of like LA County, there was like, it didn't stick, but there was a little bit of snow or and hail or two like
Wow.
that. And that never happens out here. So it
Yeah.
was like everybody was kind of like over here, if it rains, people freak out. Like,
Right.
so
Like, what is this?
yeah, they can't drive, they can't do anything like that. And, I can't apologize for them because everybody's just like everybody gets so worried when they see water on the ground. Everybody hits the brake light, so it gets kind of annoying
They,
because of
they might
traffic out
start
here.
melting.
Oh yeah,
You never know. Are you
yeah,
born and raised in LA?
yeah. I've been out here, yeah, my whole life. So just been
Nice.
kind of, and then started drinking at a early age. I probably shouldn't say, but
We won't. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a secret.
Oh yeah. But I did want to ask you because of like because of all the weather like that. Like I saw, was it during football season? There was like they had to move a couple Bills games. Are you a Bills
Yeah.
fan or?
Oh yes, big Bills fan. Yeah, they did have to move a game. That was sad. But makes sense. Yeah, huge Bills fan and super anxiously awaiting to see how this free agency goes, to see
Mm-hmm.
how the draft goes. Um, yeah, season ticket holder.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, yeah, no, the tailgates are unreal, so fun. The culture is just like, I mean, I guess I've never been a fan of another NFL team, so I can't
Mm-hmm.
compare it to that, but it's awesome. It's super fun, and the football season around here is just like a sense of community that I didn't know how much I missed until I came back home.
Okay.
That was like something from living out of town for so long and coming back. Like people just really live and breathe the Buffalo Bills. But it just like gets this sense of camaraderie that is super cool. It's super fun.
That's awesome. Like, is it because I know they always talk about the Bills Mafia and stuff like that. Do you have any like tailgating traditions or stuff like that that you guys, or that you since you're a season ticket holder that you guys do, or?
Yeah. Oh man, tailgating traditions. Well, Pinto Ron is, are you familiar with him?
I don't think so, but I mean, it sounds familiar. But yeah, if you could tell us all about it.
He's the guy that gets sprayed. This sounds so
Is it the
disgusting when I
mustard and
say
ketchup
it.
thing?
Yes, yes, he's
Okay,
the ketchup
gotcha.
and mustard
Yeah.
guy, and he just basks in it. Yeah, I know that. So I don't actually usually go to his tailgate. I usually go to a slightly calmer tailgate where all we do is
There you
throw
go.
people through tables.
There you go.
Um,
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah. Yeah, so no, usually my friends and I will tailgate actually at a community college, which is next door to the stadium. It's
Okay.
which in itself is a little bit weird too, that the community college opens up its parking lot for people to like come drink.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. There's some people that tailgate in like people's backyards. Like if you live in a house close enough to the stadium, people will like let you park on on their front yard and their backyard, and like just tailgate in their yards that like
Wow.
sell out their space. Yeah, it's super unique. So a year or so ago, there was so they're building a new stadium in Buffalo,
Okay.
and it's going to be like very close, like basically right next door to where the current stadium is. But there was a campaign to bring it downtown to Buffalo because currently it's about like 20-30 minutes away. It's kind of like how Foxborough
Oh,
is. Like
gotcha.
it's not in Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's in Orchard Park, which is a little bit outside of Buffalo, and there was a campaign to, you know, where should the new stadium be? And honestly, I would have loved to see it in downtown. I love like Charlotte's stadium is right downtown. Like the cities that
Mm-hmm.
have the stadiums in their downtowns, I think are, you know, it's a part of the skyline. It's
Mm-hmm.
super easy to get in and out. But the tailgate situation would have totally changed if the you know there wouldn't have been the space, there wouldn't have been
Yeah.
people wouldn't have been able to have you in their home.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, so it's cool. It's cool that it's out there. We usually you know, get in our snow gear. Sometimes people will build a little couch out of snow,
That's
and
pretty awesome.
there's a fire pit. Yeah, we usually get there around 9 a.m. Have our tailgates, have our fire pits, throw some people through tables, and then go into the game.
That
Yeah, you know, normal stuff. It's
yeah.
normal.
Sounds like a blast. Do you guys
Yes.
have any like tailgate? Because I know obviously buffalo wings are like the buffalo staple, but we'll get into that later. But is there anything like specifically like tailgating wise that you guys would normally do? Because I know like Minnesota, Wisconsin, they're known for their brats, stuff like
Hmm.
that. Is there anything specific you guys like to tailgate with?
You know, me personally, not really. I wish that I had a better answer for
Oh,
that, and
no,
I'm
no
sure that
worries.
there's other people that are like, "Oh, tell them about whatever." Off the
Yeah,
top of my head, you know, the unfortunate truth is usually we're a little bit more focused on the drinking
nothing wrong
than
with
the
that.
food, and the
Uh,
food is an afterthought.
yeah, well, I mean, you got to stay
If I
warm, so
remember to like bring a banana with me, I'm really proud of myself. No, I think like the tailgates that I go to, like people will definitely kind of trade off, and sometimes like different people will bring different, like obviously buffalo chicken wing dip is a big one, a lot of
yeah.
crock pot things, but no, my tailgate people are less about the food and more about the drinking, which
There you go.
take that as you will.
Yeah, you got to stay warm. So
Exactly. Your beer
yeah.
jacket. You got to make sure that your beer jacket's on.
Exactly. And when it comes to the tables, do they just like where do they get all of them from? If they're doing them like almost every, because there's what 9 home games or something like that. So 8 or 9 home
Uh,
games.
yeah, that's true. That is true. Where do they get them
Yeah.
all? My my personal group of friends doesn't necessarily crush a table every single week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually at least for me, again, it's like a little bit less of a tradition. Like I
Yeah.
know sometimes like usually toward the end of the tailgate, you'll see the table owners kind of put them away, like not
Yeah.
mine, you're not gonna get
You're
mine.
not going through
Um,
mine.
Yeah, because they are kind of expensive, right?
Yeah,
Those like plastic tables. But you know, they're accessible. You can get them at a Target. They're
there
all
you
around.
go. Nice. That's
Yeah, the
awesome.
white tables are are ready to be found.
That's awesome. And because I know we kind of talked a little earlier about her like your favorite kind of styles. Or is it the New England style is your favorite? Do you like stouts as well, or
I would say, no, I'm not really a stout girl. I would like to be. I would like to get into them a little bit more. Every time that I have a stout, I always like it, but it's just never what I go for.
hmm
I really like that carbonation in a beer, and
yeah,
sometimes they fall a little bit flatter, and it's just not as like I guess it just doesn't give me that like refreshing sort of crisp taste that I'm looking for.
yeah, I know what you mean.
But that said, like with St. Patrick's Day coming up, I'm obviously stocking up. I think that wheat beers are kind of what like I use the term gateway drug
Yeah, I
into
was gonna say
beers.
that too.
Yeah, wheat beers like Allagash White was for sure my gateway drug. Hoegaarden. I feel like I
Oh,
never see Hoegaarden anymore, but that was basically a shandy, right?
yeah.
Like super lemony. Once I could get down with those two, Blue Moon, like
hmm
those fruity wheat beers. There's a local place around here that made a blueberry wheat. They still make it. That was super good. I feel like once I got into that gateway drug, then the world was my oyster.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a cousin who lives still in he's in Maine, but he's like always in
Mm,
Boston and New Hampshire. But he would always say
okay.
Hogarden. That's how he would always say
Oh,
it.
of
Yeah.
course. Right, right. My brother-in-law's family is from that area, and when I meet anytime around holidays, like they talk, and I'm just like, you could be saying anything, and it's just so fast. Like it's so fascinating. They talk about being like out on the water. I'm like, on the
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
The water? Yeah,
Uh,
it's
that's awesome. So I know you're a Bills fan. Obviously, are there any other teams that you follow? Because I know like there's like the Sabres and stuff like that. I don't know if you follow hockey or not, but
Yeah, I'm admittedly not a huge hockey fan. Not for any reason. I have been getting into the Sabres a little bit more this year, mostly just because my boyfriend's a fan.
that's awesome.
But I went to a small university that has a relatively good basketball team for the size college that we are. St. Bonaventure, Bonnie's.
Oh, nice.
Um, and so I would say college basketball is like my other sport that I like, but the caveat to that is like I really don't know anything about other teams other than the Bonnies.
Nice.
Yeah, but I am super excited for March Madness. The Bonnies are not in.
hmm
They had a young team this year and they did fine. Um, but I'm still excited. Like we discussed my birthday's tomorrow.
hmm
My birthday is always coinciding with March Madness, so it's kind of been a tradition the past 10 years or so to have my birthday celebration at some sort of sports bar and kick off March Madness and hopefully the Bonnies are in other years they have been.
hmm
So yeah, so it's really the Bills and the Bonnies for me. I would like to get more into the Sabres. We have a minor league baseball team here,
Oh,
the
nice.
Buffalo Bisons. Um, yeah, but I would say it's like NFL and college basketball that are my main two.
Yeah, and I always felt like St. Bonaventure. They're like, at least from when I remember, like growing up from a kid, because I'm 36. I was trying to think. I couldn't remember how old I was for a second. But I always remember St. Bonaventure. It was kind of being like perennial bracket kind of busters, like from
Right.
when I was a kid till even recently.
Yeah.
They always find a way to shake up the tournament somehow.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the goal. So
Yeah.
hopefully next year they'll be back at that. I don't know. I guess for March Madness, I have to cheer for an Atlantic 10 team. That's where the Bonnies are. So I
Okay.
guess VCU is probably my pick, but what about you? Are you a March Madness guy?
I love watching March Madness. I'm not very. I don't really watch the regular season when it comes to college basketball. But I love
Yeah.
watching any like the tournament. Once the tournament's
Yeah.
on, I'm like, I'll watch any game. Doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
But my brother is a UCLA fan, so I will cheer for UCLA, even though it's
They
like,
played Bonnie's
yeah,
a few years ago.
yeah, I remember.
Pretty
Uh,
sure you guys won.
yeah, UCLA's been playing really like the last few tournaments. They've played really well. But yeah, since my brother's a UCLA fan and SC in basketball isn't, I'm a USC fan, but basketball isn't their strong suit. Well,
Right.
lately a lot of the sports haven't been their strong suit, but UCLA would probably be the one I'd be cheering for this year.
Okay. Wish them well. I'll add them into
Yeah,
my bracket.
awesome. Yeah, what's it called? Should we jump into our second one?
I think we should.
Yeah. All right. Yeah,
I got an old school bottle for
oh,
this
there
one.
you go. Nice. And which one? Where is that from?
So this one is from Ellicottville Brewing Company. Ellicottville is probably about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Buffalo. I came with a theme. My mom's a retired elementary school teacher, so I very much grasp onto a theme here.
Yeah.
So this one's called Stormy Weather. It's a white ale. I love white ales,
Nice.
it's kind of that wheat beer.
Hmm.
And it is still snowing in the middle of March, so I figured stormy weather was kind of appropriate. What
Perfect.
about you?
This one, I mean, normally it would be perfect for California because it looks like it's called a crispy pair of Levi's, but it's a collaboration between Untitled Art and Long Beach Beer Lab. And
Okay.
it says it's a rice and beans pilsner, so it's puffed jasmine rice and garbanzo beans. It's at
Wow. Interesting.
5.2%. I'll show you the can artwork. So it kind of looks like a California kind of sunset, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a Ferris
Is
wheel back
Untitled
there.
Arts out there? They do a lot of seltzers, don't they?
Yeah, they do a ton of seltzers. They do a ton of like sours and stuff like that. You can find Untitled Art in certain places here.
Yeah.
There's one, one of the liquor stores that I go to pretty regularly is called Louis Liquor. So it's about a half hour from me, but they have a really good distribution that they work with, distribution company that they work with. So they get a lot of different. They get like you've heard of RAR, or is it RAR that they make a bunch of sours in Connecticut? Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of different like they get a lot of the East Coast beers. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get my hands on Treehouse and stuff like that, but I
Oh,
know
yeah.
Treehouses can be tough to get your hands on.
Right, right. I'm hoping to make it to Treehouse this summer. My sister lives in Boston, and we're family vacationing in Rhode Island. So I'm
Oh,
hoping
nice.
to kind of go through. So from Buffalo out there is like I don't know 6-7 hours, almost directly east.
Yeah.
So definitely willing to go a little bit out of my way to hit up Treehouse. So fingers crossed on that one.
Oh, well, may the force be with you in getting over there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let me crack this guy open here. There we go. Oh yeah, so that's why I started with the heavy one because then I can go to the light one.
That's smart. Mine's about the same. This one is 6.2.
Okay, yeah, this one's at 5.2. Yeah, so you got me on this one. But cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that's pretty good. And I'm not like the biggest like. I mean, I do like. Well, I guess growing up, like you kind of drink pilsners or lagers and stuff
Hmm.
like that. And then, like you said, you kind of find your gateway, your gateway
Right,
drugs when it
right.
comes to like getting into different styles of beer.
Yeah.
But I kind of it's not bad at all. What are you gonna? What score would you give yours?
Mine is very delicious. It actually reminds me of one that I used to have at Birdsong in Charlotte, which was one of my favorites. And I wish I could remember what that was called. I'm gonna give this one an 8. It is super drinkable. And sometimes I wonder if the bottle shape versus a can makes it
Hmm.
more drinkable. Do you ever wonder about that?
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like it's just kind of like almost like getting it from the tap too. Like I feel like when you get it on
Yeah,
tap, it's
right.
like a completely. Sometimes you'll get a completely different like mouthfeel compared to
Yes.
drinking it out of a bottle or a can. So definitely.
Yeah, I think something about this being in a bottle makes it slightly more drinkable to me, but yeah, it has orange cranberry flavor. It has like that winter kind of cloviness that a white ale might have, but yeah, it's delicious. I could for sure. So I think I should tell you like how I rate things a little bit
Hmm.
more. Like I feel
Yeah.
like mixed into my rating is like would I want to drink multiple of
Oh, for
these?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely could. Like I
Yeah.
could drink, three,
Knock a
no
few
no
of them back.
problem.
There you go.
Yes, yes. Yeah, what about you?
The same. I go for, well, from this beer specifically, I'm gonna probably give it for, because I do rate them like, I'll rate a hazy against a hazy or a pilsner against a
Right.
pilsner. So being a pilsner, I probably would give this one. I'm like between a 6.5 and a 7, but I love Long Beach Beer Lab, so I'm gonna lean towards a 7 on this one.
Go up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear more about the garbanzo. Like, is that anything that you can taste at all in there?
Um. No, not that. I mean, not that. Because to be honest, I've only had garbanzo beans maybe once, twice in my life.
Oh, really? Oh
So I
God, I
don't
love.
really. Yeah. So I don't know if I like. I'm trying to think of like when was the last time I had any. I want to say they were like might have been mixed into maybe a salad or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
probably.
Um, but it still has a. It's like a clean finish. It's like a crisp,
Mm,
clean finish, and yeah, I mean, I think with pilsners it's like the drinkability. Like like you said,
right.
how many can you put back? Probably, I could, if I bought a 6 pack of this, I wouldn't be like putting them in the back and buying new beer. I'd probably want to
Yeah, yeah.
finish these
Oh, that's
before,
see, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
My family has started doing in the past few years, we started doing a beer competition when we're together.
Oh, nice.
Usually so that's like summer vacation and then around Christmas. Um, and the way that we do it is my parents are from the Buffalo area, but a little
Okay.
bit south of here. We started it when I lived in Charlotte. My brother's in the DC area and my sister's in Boston. So basically our rules were that like for Christmas, you had to bring a holiday beer from wherever you currently lived.
Okay.
So you got to try like Buffalo, Boston, DC, Charlotte beers, all
Yeah.
different like Christmas cookies and winter porters and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. But we had a scale kind of similar to that. Like
Yeah.
we would rate it on like creative name and packaging, like let that have a little bit of weight in there, and then drinkability. And I think the final one was like if you had to drink one of these all night, what
Mm-hmm.
one would it want to be? So
Yeah.
usually it's kind of like that lighter Christmas cookie flavor that wins for those. But I think the scale is important. It is important to talk about what sort of scale you're
Oh, for
using, right?
sure.
Because sometimes people are like, it's different.
Yeah. Because, I mean, and that sounds like honestly a game, like the best Christmas game ever. Now that I'm thinking
Yes,
about it,
I
because
highly recommend everyone does it. Every
yeah,
family can get along better once you're a little bit drunk off of Christmas beers.
exactly. We were, one of our traditions was like we'd wake up, we'd all get together at my mom's house for Christmas, and she would make a big breakfast, and then we'd have either screwdrivers or mimosas or Bailey's and coffee,
I love
or
it.
sometimes Bailey's on the rocks, depending on.
Oh,
And then there
yes.
would always be a little bit less of whatever you were mixing with the booze in the in the thing after. So
Right, right. My dad's name is Larry, so my sister likes to call it Bloody Larry's instead of Bloody Mary's because he makes a great Bloody
okay,
Mary. So yeah, yeah, I'll always add those in. So that kind of gives me a question about
yeah.
St. Patrick's Day again.
Hmm.
So are you like an Irish car bomb fan? Are you going to make
Um,
those for this coming weekend?
I love Irish stouts. That's like well, Guinness is like it's always the most like notoriety, I guess.
Mhm.
But I love Murphy's. I'm not sure if you've ever had a Murphy's before.
Did you just start speaking in an Irish accent, or am I hearing things?
Uh, I don't know. Maybe I
I feel
did,
like
and I,
that word notoriety
yeah,
came out a little. I'm like, oh, what?
maybe I just did and not wasn't paying attention. But yeah, the Murphy's is probably my go-to. I'll have an Irish car bomb. Like I love Jameson. Like I will have shots of Jameson with the best of them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story off air about Jameson. Um, but I don't usually do the green beer. I'll just do Guinness or Murphy's, whatever they have.
Yeah.
Usually whatever a bar
Yeah.
has. And a shot. I'll mix in a shot of Jameson. But how about you?
I Jameson. Mm,
Bad news.
I, it is not. No, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. I've actually really tried to not do shots at all lately. It just doesn't end up in happy endings for
Yeah.
me. Um, Although like I love pickle juice, so a pickleback is okay sometimes. I think that I could do a car bomb. I think like when it's mixed with stuff, I think I could do that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, you're fine.
had my do not disturb on.
Yeah, it's all good.
Just went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as specialty shots, I mean, I love Bailey's.
Hmm.
I could drink a Bailey's drink, but yeah, the straight up Jameson's probably not my deal.
Yeah. That's the only time I ever really drink soda because if I'm taking shots of Jameson, I'll get like, like the little Cokes, like the little small cans.
Yes,
I'll get
yes.
one of those and that'll last like half a bottle but yeah, like I said, once the Jameson starts flowing with me, it's hard to stop.
Wow. I mean, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I no, I think this weekend I'll probably start with like an Irish stout.
Hmm.
Um some sort of like Guinness or something like that. And then I feel like the Irish Red's a good
Hmm.
safe zone. Is a Smittix like an Irish Red? That is, right?
I don't know if I've ever had that. I've had like I remember Killian's way back in the day when I was a kid. But I love reds, but they're a style, at least out here, you don't see as often. Everybody tries to make like the West Coast IPAs, the hazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't really see reds. I had my first red since probably I was a teenager over the weekend at I keep mentioning them Long Beach Beer
Oh,
Lab.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, it was my first red there since I was a kid. That shouldn't have
Wow.
been
That's
drinking at the
awesome.
time, but
Right. By kid,
yeah.
you mean a 21
Yeah,
year old.
exactly. Day
Yes,
day
yes.
I turned 21. Yeah.
Right,
Not
right.
definitely not 14 or 15.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I did want to because there's one thing I always like to ask. I mean, when it comes to this is one of the reasons I wanted to start the Instagram spotlight was because if people ever go to Buffalo, like where should they go? Like where are like the spots that not everybody always talks about, or like where's the best buffalo wing? We can start with that
Mm.
if you have a favorite place or the best place.
So the spots that not everyone talks about where you could find the best buffalo wing, there is a place that comes to mind.
Hmm.
There is a brewery called Froth Brewing. They just recently added on to their kitchen and added this amazing chicken wing place. So I'll start with the beers.
Okay.
Froth is known for their smoothie style beers.
Okay.
They're quite literally frothy. I am shocked by how much it tastes like an actual smoothie. Like they're the type that has like seeds in there,
Oh
like a
wow.
strawberry seed. And it's just bubbly as if it came straight out of the blender. And they're so creative with the flavor combinations. That would definitely be a type of beer that I would say is like beer for people that don't like beer because it tastes just so much like a smoothie. But they also have really good IPAs and pilsners and like more normal type of beers too. Um, those I feel like that Froth doesn't make it on the top couple places list as much. There's
Okay.
obviously other places that I would love to recommend as well, but for a place that's a little bit under the radar, Froth is definitely one. And the wings that they have there, it's called Wing Nuts.
Okay.
So this place, Wing Nuts, they operated out of a Knights of Columbus kitchen. So it's like a church basement sort of
Oh, wow.
kitchen. And it was the type of place that like they would make, let's say 200 wings for the day. And when they would run out, they would run out. Like
Yeah.
you could go there and they'd be like, we're done for the day.
Yeah. We only have one left.
So
Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like it was just, and I never went there before because it's like a little bit out farther, like not too far out, but it's just far enough out of the city of Buffalo that you're like, am I gonna drive all that way? What if they're out? So they opened up a kitchen in Froth Brewing, and the wings are just massive. They have really good wing flavors, and they're like cooked to perfection. They're so juicy. They're great. So that is a combo, and that's really close to where I live actually. So selfishly, I'm like, I love that it's basically in my backyard.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's like a super winning pair.
That's really cool. I mean, because I mean, I love buffalo wings. My buddy used to make fun of me because I do like boneless too. But like, so in Buffalo, is the boneless thing, like ordering boneless wings, like sacrilegious or
You know what? I'm gonna be honest.
yeah.
I don't even think a lot of places have boneless wings.
Okay.
They have chicken tenders or like
Yeah.
chicken fingers. But I'm trying to think of my places that I go and like they definitely don't have. I love boneless wings too. They're
Yeah.
good. But yeah, no, I don't think, you know what's more sacrilegious
Yeah.
and people die on this hill is that you can only eat your wings with blue cheese and not ranch.
Oh, really?
Like people have such strong opinions on this, and I am a ranch lover.
Okay.
I love ranch. I will put ranch on everything. Um, and I like blue cheese too. It's fine. I have adopted blue cheese into my diet.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, back when I was on the dating apps, I remember one of my Hinge prompts was like, I don't remember. It was something like, "Oh, one thing you'll never guess about me," or one of
Yeah.
those, and it was like, "I eat my wings with ranch," and the responses were just so bad. People were like, "Get out of Buffalo!
Oh,
Like you're
wow.
not really from Buffalo." Yeah, I don't know what. Like I don't know why people choose
Hmm.
that hill to die on.
Yeah.
There's more. There's bigger things. But yeah, that's like something that you can now only do in secrecy is eat
Wow.
your wings with ranch. Yes.
Yeah, and that's crazy because honestly, like for me, I don't mind ranch and I don't mind blue cheese, but I don't eat them with wings.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't like, I like just the wings the way they are.
just plain.
Yeah. But so I don't know if that would be sacrilegious to them too, because I'm not eating it with it, but,
No, that
um,
would be okay. I think
yeah,
that would be okay.
yeah. But I was just like, with ranch, it's like so popular with wings. I mean,
Oh,
but
yeah,
yeah, but
exactly.
people like, there are certain things, I guess almost like in like Philly, how Philly, like there are certain people that are, oh, you got to get it with whiz or you got to get it with,
Right.
provolone or American.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. People like cling on to these like regional food things, and it's
Yeah.
very like, what's the food of LA? Like, is it like
Um,
tacos?
Probably like, yeah, I mean, you could probably say tacos at In-N-Out Burger. I mean,
In and out.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I can eat In-N-Out any day of the week. Like,
yeah.
that's like my probably my favorite thing. But I would probably, yeah, like tacos. There's so many taco spots out here, and so many good ones. It'd be like hard to decide like, which one would be best. There's one actually not far from me. It's just up the street. It's called Taquiera El Fogón, and I probably butchered that, so people are gonna make fun of me. But it's okay. But that place is really good.
Yeah.
Like any other like regional? Because I know obviously Buffalo wings are like the most one, but is there like a
Mhm.
different, like another type of food that gets big over there?
Yes. There's a couple. So tac not tacos.
Yeah. So we were on tacos, so
You're like,
and I try to segue.
um, beef on weck is massively popular.
Heard of it? Not exactly
Okay.
sure what it is.
So what it is a roast beef sandwich. The beef is like shaved really thin, like almost to like how deli meat would be.
That sounds great.
Um, but the part that like really makes it is the roll. So on the roll, there's caraway seeds
Oh,
or
okay.
like so it's called a Kimmelwick, which I don't know what language that is. I don't know if it's German or what. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of Polish people in Buffalo. Maybe that's it. Um,
Hmm.
forgive me, I'm getting this
Oh,
wrong.
you're fine.
To whoever's listening, they're gonna like come for you in the
Yeah.
comments and me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like this seed on top. It's like a little bit of like that kind of anise black licorice flavor, but
Mm.
much more muted and like thick sea salt. So it's like a roast beef sandwich with the au jus. People put horseradish on it. I don't like horseradish, so I don't put that on. Actually, I kind of like mustard on my beef on wick. But it's basically just like a really delicious, moist roast beef sandwich on this like salty
Okay.
roll.
Do they give you like
It's
an au
with
jus with it or something like that?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. Some people put it on the side. Sometimes they just like kind of put it on the sandwich. That's delicious.
That
So
sounds
a lot
great.
of places actually around here will have like what they call a buffalo platter or like a buffalo sampler or something, and it'll be like a beef on weck with 5 chicken wings and maybe like some French fries or something. And that is my dream.
So you get the
I
tour
could
of
eat one
Buffalo?
of those. Yes. Like it's so good. The other food that Buffalo has that I don't think exists in the rest of the country are these things called pizza logs.
Hmm.
And it's basically like an egg roll. But it's with like pepperoni and cheese and marinara sauce, and you like wrap it up into this little like wonton thing, and it's deep fried, and those are ridiculously good. So that's another like when the Bills have an away game
Mm-hmm.
and you're watching from a bar, I would definitely get like an order of pizza rolls with my chicken wings. Those are very popular.
Those three things together just sound like the dream. Like you get, yeah, you get wings, you get a roast beef sandwich, and you get, because there's good roast beef out here. Like there's a
Yeah.
place in LA called Philippe's, and it's like always the lines out the door, like
Wow.
every day. Um, Probably twice on Sundays. But they do like the thing too where you can either get the au jus on the side or you can dunk the whole
Mhm.
sandwich in the au jus and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I remembered as you were talking about the beef on weck, I was like, I remember where I saw it from. It was on a Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and they talked about beef on
Oh,
weck, but I was like, I know I've heard it somewhere,
yeah.
but I couldn't think of it. I was like, oh, now it makes sense. It was from
That's
Buffalo, so
it. That's it. Yeah, when you barely have any sunlight for like 6 months, you just need carbs and
yeah.
fried food. That's how the people of Buffalo get through.
Yeah. Well, that sounds awesome. It seems like, I always say, my girlfriend always wanted to try to go to like different breweries or go like, we've now started to plan trips around breweries. So it's like if
Yes.
we can
Oh my
go to like,
God, totally.
but just trips too. Like, we want to go out to I have family out in Colorado, so I love Colorado too. It's beautiful. Like, they have a
Yeah.
ton of breweries out there too. But want to go
Yeah.
to like, to Tennessee to go to like the places out there. Would love to go to Buffalo or go
Yeah.
go to Massachusetts, and because I've only been out to Maine and I've been to Boston once, but Maine and New Hampshire is really all I've ever been to
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. I feel like that's such a cool thing about breweries and brewery culture is like literally that. Like people do plan trips around breweries now.
Yeah.
And that was just unheard of back.
Hmm.
I think that there are some laws that were passed over the past like 10 or 20 years about, where you could serve alcohol and that. I know that that changed a lot in New York State. There were some brewery laws that like allowed you to serve beer out of your tap room and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I did the same exact thing. So I don't live in Charlotte anymore, but a lot of my best friends do still. And so we still go to the beach down there every summer. And last year, my friend and I drove down to the Carolinas, which is like a 13-hour trip from Buffalo.
Wow.
We stopped halfway in Richmond, Virginia, which has a ton of breweries, and we specifically stopped there because of the breweries. And otherwise, I would have just stayed at some random Holiday Inn on the side of the side of the road
Yeah.
or side of the highway, whatever. But it made the trip so much more enjoyable to like actually go somewhere, and it also was so cool because now when I'm out someplace, I can see like, oh, I was there. Like we were at that brewery, we had
Hmm.
that one. Yeah, it makes like it totally makes traveling within your own country and within your own state, like even an hour away, like it makes it so much more fun and interesting. And like you kind of are proud to like live in that area that
Yeah.
has fun breweries. Like I really love that.
Of course. One thing I always like to ask is because I love burgers. Like burgers are like my everything. Like anytime I travel somewhere, I always like I will Google like what's the best burger in this place, and I'll go there. So
Yeah.
I gotta ask, what's the best burger in Buffalo?
As soon as you started asking this, I knew that I was like gonna slightly fail because there's a lot
It's
of
okay.
places that I haven't been to. I want to set this up by saying that I actually just polled my Instagram friends, followers last weekend because I'm also on the hunt for the best burger.
Awesome.
I have two answers for you. One
Okay.
I've been to, one I haven't been to. The one I have not been to is called Grover's, and someone said it was Grover Cleveland's old hunting
Oh wow.
cabin that they turned into a burger bar. And multiple people said this was the best burger in Buffalo. It's technically like maybe 20 minutes outside of the city. Um, haven't been there, need to go there. I would say the best burger that I've had in Buffalo is from a place called Allen's Burger Venture.
Okay.
They are in a neighborhood called Allentown, which, if you're familiar with the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, we
Yeah.
love like Allentown existed long before Josh
Yeah.
Allen did, but now there's a lot of banners around that say like "Welcome to Josh Allentown."
Oh, that's awesome.
Um, yeah, so Allen's Burger Venture has a burger that has like peanut butter on it,
Oh
like
wow.
a peanut butter jalapeno bacon. Just if you've never had a burger with peanut butter on it, which I'm sure you have, you seem like a burger
I
person.
actually haven't.
You
I've had one
haven't?
with jelly. Had one with jelly. Jelly
Oh,
was amazing. I've never had one with peanut butter though.
that too. Oh my God, you have to. It's like surprisingly savory. It really doesn't
Okay.
add the sweetness that you would think. It's kind of like how like a lot of Thai food has a peanut sauce on it. That's kind
Hmm.
of like it brings out like the umami flavor of the burger. So yeah, so the Allen's Burger Venture. Best burger in Buffalo. I'm saying it. People are gonna
Yeah.
come for me with the Kummelweck or if it's German or not, and like I
Yeah.
think they'll agree with me on the burger part at least.
Yeah. No, but I mean, that's awesome because I mean, we all have our different opinions and stuff like that. So this has been a ton of fun for me.
Me too.
Yeah, just like learning about, the different areas because I mean, I want to go everywhere. I mean, I want to go to every state and have the best burger in every state. Before I'm long gone, that's a bucket list thing for me.
Wow.
So
Best burger and best beer.
yeah, find if they're in the same place, that's two birds.
I think I'm fully on board
Yeah,
for this plan with you.
yeah, that's awesome. Well, I mean, all right. Well, I mean, this has been so much fun, Emily. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a phenomenal birthday,
Thank you.
and a great St. Patrick birthday week because you get St. Patrick's Day as well.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm really a hog. I take my birthday, I take St. Patrick's. I'm really just like making it all about me here.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah. I mean, have a blast, have a bunch of beers, and do all that good stuff. But this has been really fun. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. No worries. All right. You take care.
You too. Bye.
All right, guys. Well, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. I had so much fun with Emily. She was like super cool. But you know what's coming next. Just gotta find the right article to read off here. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Found one. Article 10 of the Bro Code. A bro will drop whatever he's doing and rush to help his bro dump a chick. Sorry, babe. I wouldn't actually do this, love. Babe, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry. But, to quote Barnabas Stinson, Article 1, Bros Before Hoes. I hope you guys enjoy. Well, that's episode 5. So, like I said just a second ago, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. I know it's fucking tacky, whatever. But we have to kind of do that shit. Just to be able to, get likes and whatever else. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed the episode. And I will catch you guys next week. Got some bangers coming. Twinkle, twinkle, baby.